again, and welcome to another episode of Bushcraft Dave. This morning it's going to be a relatively short video because I wanted to talk to you about something that I bought at this summer's Bushcraft show, but I've not really had a chance to talk to you about yet. It is a Trangia 25. This was bought from one of the army surplus stores that was at the Bushcraft show, and it is very battered and very bruised, but I wanted to show you what I got because for me, I've got a Trangia 27 and a Trangia Mini, Trangia 28, and I didn't have a Trangia 25. So when I was at the Bushcraft show, I saw a tub with about 5 or 6 of these in. I think they were 50 quid, and it was a bit like, do you know what? For the sake of making sure that I've kind of got all three, so I can at least see what the difference would be, I bought myself one. So let's have a look inside. So I think at some point these were probably part of a school's collection, or a group that was doing the Duke of Edinburgh Award, or I don't know, a Cub or Scout group or something like that. There's like a sticker mark on the front where probably there was a number. I've seen this in schools that I've worked at before, but like with numbers on it. So it is just a bog standard Trangia 25. Effectively it'd be the 25-2, because this Trangia, as well as having the fry pan, this one has got inside it the kettle. What's quite nice is when I opened it, I found that it didn't have a spirit burner inside. It did have the gas burner, which I'd been thinking about getting anyway, and brand new it'd probably be about maybe 60 quid if it's on offer, but I was able to get it the whole Trangia kit for £50. So realistically, kind of my logic was, I'm getting this for 50 quid because they should be relatively bulletproof, and I'm getting a bit of a bargain, and I've got all the other bits and pieces as well. So I got my gas stove. We'll talk about how good that is or isn't in a second. We've also got an incredibly battered and bruised internal pan. It looks like it's been through some real grief. And the outer, which is in much better condition actually. And then obviously your inner windshield and outer windshield as well. So I have used this on my recent trip to do the 3 Peaks with Alexi. I used it, I think, to cook breakfast on a morning. So we shall put a little bit of footage in the background so you can see that. Yes, Mrs. Bushcraft Dave gave me the thumbs up saying that that's okay. Yes, and it also included the gripper. So when I was looking through them, they didn't all have all of the bits. I managed to find one that had everything. You can see it's even got numbers still written onto the kettle. It looks like it's got a 9 on the kettle and a 6 on the lid. So what was really good was, by having the gas burner, I was actually able to use that and take that with me when I did the rest of the Limestone Way, and I used it with the Trangia 27. But I want to talk about a couple of the things that advantages of getting a 25, and a couple of things with this particular setup that I've got that I'm not particularly happy with. So first of all, what is good about having this Trangia 25 set is it is a lot bigger. The size of the fry pan, it is bigger than my head. It's designed to be used for 3 to 4 people, which is great because when I'm out with Mrs. Bushcraft Dave and the children, it means that we should be able to use this for cooking together, much bigger meals and stuff like that, which is brilliant. It's not necessarily needed if there's just 2 people. And when I was cooking for me and Alexi, it leads to one of the downsides to it that I noticed, is that when I was cooking on it, the heat and everything was isolated really just to this sort of central section. So I think I tried to fry 2 eggs on it, and all of the egg on the outside was still saying pretty uncooked, and it was only the stuff in the middle that was cooking. I reckon if I was making something like a stew or something where I'm going to be cooking things for a bit longer and stirring it anyway, it's all right, but maybe that's just because I need to get used to it. I was also thinking it might be to do with the fact that if I was using the gas burner, maybe the heat was really direct because it's quite a tight bit of burn from that. Whereas I think actually maybe if I tried using the spirit burner, because the way that the flames come up and they tend to sort of then lick around the outside of the pan as you're cooking, maybe that heat will be distributed a bit more using the spirit burner. So something I will try at some point is to compare and contrast using the gas burner and the spirit burner to try and sort of see which one works better with this particular set, but also just at some point to try and decide in the future, do I want to do most of my cooking with the gas or spirit? One of the other disadvantages of this particular set, and I don't think it would be true of like if I got a brand new Trangia 25, I don't think that this would be the case, but within the bottom part, at the bottom of the windshield, there is no hole cut in the side to be able to put the cable of the Trangia fuel burner through, which does mean that when you then set everything up, you do have to have a bit of a tilt on it, unless, and what I tried to do was kind of press this down into the ground so that the pipe sort of was into the ground a little bit, which is a bit awkward. Certainly a new stove I think has the hole. What I might try and look at doing somehow is drilling the hole into the side of it so that I've got it. But hey ho, it's only a little thing, and that's that really. So for £50, it is battered, and there probably will be bits that if I am to use it more regularly, I'll replace. The fry pan might be one of the first things that I do. I haven't got the chopping board part of it. I haven't got a bag for it. But just out of interest, so you can have a quick look and compare the sizes of the things that we've got. Oh, that's great. My assistant has just passed me some bits and pieces. That's the fry pan from the 25. That's the fry pan from the 27. So hopefully you can see you don't gain loads, but in terms of area, it is a big improvement. And from the Trangia 28, which, because it's black on black, you're going to struggle to see a little bit.
And that's the size of the battery, so you have an idea of a real thing.
And that's the size of a AA battery. So you can compare the size. Lovely. Thank you. So yeah, you do get a big increase in size from the 28 to the 27 and to the 25. Thank you very much. I'll put that back in there. So that was my purchase from the Bushcraft Show 2022. For £50, I have got myself now a Trangia 25 to add into my Trangia collection. I'm really pleased with the purchase. I'm not sure how often I will end up using the actual cook set, because most of the time I'm going to be out on the travels on my own or with one other person, so I'll be using the 28 or the 27. But when I do go on my family camps, really useful to just have a complete cook set to take with me and be able to cook stuff for the family. And ultimately, the main thing that I've now got, which I have used already a few times and I do love, is my gas burner. Lovely. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you found it useful, interesting to see the Trangia 25. It'll be used a little bit more in future videos, and I'll be able to say a bit more about it. And at some point, I think I would like to do a bit more of a detailed compare and contrast between the three models, if that would be interesting to you all. But other than that, have a lovely day. Thank you very much for joining me, and we will see you in the next one. And I do love is my fuel burner.
Who's your gas burner?
And the main